should be noted, the Power Hour has begun. You can watch it at KFAN.com/watch. It's powered by Quantum Fiber, your world unleashed.
Here's the latest hit from Meat Sauce Paul Lambert on the Fan. Go, Meat Sauce.
Wait, am I supposed to sing?
Yeah, that was your cue.
Unless you got a different instrument, I can't see over there.
I thought there was going to be...
I'm going to start it again.
Okay.
Just please.
Isn't this the Elvis sign?
If you name it that.
Yeah, you name it whatever you want. Pretend you're Colin Mockery, and this is Whose Line Is It Anyway? And Drew Carey over there just threw you an alley-oop. It's your turn to sing.
I wish I had cheese.
Wow, shocking. It starts with food.
I really like cheese.
Yep. Staying on the food thing.
I wish Corey'd been hit by a train in England.
A train in England?
Hawk's dad's been in a train. So has his son. When he was in moonshine.
What? My boy Al.
You were the caboose. You volunteered to go last.
But who are we talking to here? Wait a minute, who did?
You prefer it as sloppy as it
three
can
generations
be.
of us were together.
What a twisted story to tell after you proclaimed your desire to eat a bunch of cheese. All you wanted was cheese, and then you talked about the entire hockey family getting into a train.
Yeah, and I gotta believe I'd look around and go, I'm so glad we're all together. But this is awkward as hell. And pass me the cheese.
And of course your dad's like, son of a bitch, now we're all going to be backed up. This defeats the purpose. Yeah. Why did we eat all this cheese? Well, he said he really wanted it twice.
And now we're all Eskimo brothers.
That phrase has to be problematic at this point. You use it so often. I cannot believe you've never gotten an email. That can't be PC anymore.
What?
Can't be. It can't. That has to be a problematic phrase.
Okay. Well, now we've all banged the same lady.
Beautiful. Thank you. Beautiful.
Thank God they were ladies in the story. I didn't know where it was going.
Wasn't it Moonshine?
Is that a song lyric?
No, yeah. What we were confused by is you said Hawk's dad's been in a train, and so has his son.
Yeah.
I meant...
We know what you meant, but lyrically it made it sound like when Chris was in the band Moonshine, which was what, when you were 20?
Yeah, he wasn't even born
He wasn't even born, but somehow his son Alex had also been in a train.
Wow.
And then Chris volunteered to be the caboose.
So is Alex a time traveler?
Oh, God, that would be sweet.
I mean, maybe.
Well, now we know that if he is, he would travel back to a time where there was an abundance of cheese.
Yep.
And his dad and his grandpa were ready to pound.
All the good old days.
The good old days.
You're a weirdo.
Man.
I like your song, though.
Thank you.
It's time for Fan 5, brought to you by Builders and Remodelers.
By the way, if anybody tries to copyright that song or trademark that song, just remember that song is called That Elvis Song.
Yeah, that's right.
That is the title of it.
You're like the
That
Counting Crows.
Elvis Song.
Yeah.
What a wild ride that was.
At any point, do you say anything about Elvis in the song?
No.
Okay.
I thought it was that Well, hold on.
Yeah, it sounded like Caught in the Trap. Can't hold
Thank
back.
you.
I agree
Yeah,
with you.
yeah. That's what I thought. I thought it was going to be a cover of it.
Nope.
Thanks, Hogs, for
You're
agreeing
welcome.
with me.
No, you're right. You're right.
Hey, again, I'm just back from vacation, so I'm just getting caught up, so I just wanted to bring this up. A couple days ago, NBA history was made. First father-son to play together. Bronny James and LeBron James played a preseason game together, and I'm bringing it up just because I like sports. No other reason I would ever bring that up. But LeBron James and Bronny James played together.
On an NFL Monday, it was the lead story on ESPN.
That's a pretty big deal.
Nobody cares.
It's a big deal.
No. As I said yesterday, and I'll continue to say it. If I went to court with my dad, it doesn't make me a lawyer. Bronny James doesn't belong in the NBA. That's the end of my rant.
That's a hell of a rant. You're passionate.
I think he has 2 points in 2 preseason games.
What?
I could score 2 points in a preseason game.
No chance.
Yes, I could. At the
No
end of the
chance.
game? Yes, I could.
No chance.
couldn't.
Yeah.
If the other team's actually trying to play defense, no chance.
Nope.
Yes, I could.
No.
Yeah, I'd throw it behind my back. and score.
Hang on. So at the end of a preseason game, you're going to throw it behind your back and up into the basket.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I'm impressed by you.
You couldn't do that now, unguarded, if I gave you an hour. There's no way. No chance.
No.
Can we get like a practice squad together down at Mayo Clinic and get this tested out?
Get the Harlem Globetrotters together if you can do that.
I couldn't score a point.
No.
But, yeah, he's just not good.
Who we done again?
Bronny, he's not that good.
Yeah, he's obviously
back me up
way
here.
better than you give him credit for.
No,
but
he isn't. No, I'm not. No, he isn't.
That's a lie.
Okay, getting drafted obviously is the force part, right? He would have gone undrafted if the Lakers hadn't done it. But he was a top 10 or 15 recruit in the country the year he was a high school senior. He's
pretty good.
It's not like he's trash.
Kessler
If he had
did,
not had the heart attack issue or whatever, maybe he would have been much better at USC in the 1 year that he played. We don't know.
I had no idea.
How about this? 2 years ago, if you had told me LeBron James Jr., Bronny James was going to be in the NBA, you'd bet your house he was going to be in the NBA, right? He just didn't do anything at USC because he had the health problems, and then he didn't play great. 2 years ago, it was like a guarantee he was making it.
He's pretty good.
He's pretty good. He's just not LeBron James. I mean,
Sure.
even though it's technically his name, you know?
Yeah, technically he
So
is.
it's a lot like Brock Purdy. He's much better than you think. He's not the greatest of all time, right? LeBron James Jr., best of luck to you. Who
Sure,
knows?
but at this thanks, Rose. But at this current state, he
Minnesota?
doesn't
Minnesota?
belong-
Which one?
He doesn't belong on an NBA roster. He should start in the G League,
Yeah, that is very true.
but he won't. That's
no.
my point.
Why does that matter?
He probably will go back down there once you get. You got to get to the regular season. Nobody cares if history is made in the preseason. You got to get the two of them to play together in the regular season. I would do that almost immediately. Rip the Band-Aid off, get it over with, and then send Bronny back down to the G League and get him some reps.
This will shock all of you. I don't know because I didn't do the research, but isn't he on a one-way contract?
I don't know how that works. It's a good question.
I don't think he can go to the G League.
Then that's a problem because you can't give him a lot of minutes if this Lakers team is actually going to want to compete.
I'll look it up right now, but I remember hearing when he was getting drafted that they were telling that Rich Paul was telling teams that he's not going to be on a two-way contract.
Yeah,
That's a problem.
Not perfect.
See?
Yeah, that's a problem.
Thank you.
What do you know about basketball?
He is off the charts intelligent.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, whoever you're talking
He's
about.
not.
I didn't see the box score, Max. Maybe you did. What was the Cat debut
I
in New
believe the
York
box
like?
score is max one.
Always up ahead on the leaderboards, baby. Cat was pretty good. I think he had something like 10 points pretty quickly there. And actually, funny enough, speaking of Cat, down there doing the Knicks do their practice in North Carolina, apparently, and Parker Fox's brother plays down there. He had a chance to talk to Cat, and Cat was a fan of Howling with the Homies. He knew who me and Parker were.
Oh,
That's
boy.
sweet.
How about that?
Cat's a great dude. He had, Max was right, 10. He's 5 of 6 in the free throws, 1 of 5 from three-point land, and 2 of 7 on the field goals.
He really is special.
Yeah, he is pretty good.
You're right.
But this team's better now. Well, yeah, you were gone. What are
seriously?
your thoughts on the trade, Corliss?
Were you being sarcastic? I'm
No,
sorry.
they are better
Okay,
now.
all right,
the
cool.
bench is better, way better. It's probably the best bench in the NBA.
True.
Dante DiVincenzo is a monster. Dillingham coming off the bench will be a great player. He'll be the starter whenever Conley leaves. This is a deep basketball team. Your thoughts, Cor?
1 year ago, if you had said we traded Karl Anthony Towns, I would have said, let's go have a parade because I was so tired of watching him. Obviously, last season changed a lot of opinions on Karl Anthony Towns because he was a huge part of the reason we went as deep as we did. But I don't know. I like the aggression. Let's go for it. Why not?
Right.
You got to do something.
Here's Mike Conley talking about getting ready for a new season with all the changes and such.
Obviously, it's tough when you're building something and you have a season like we did last year. We've kind of broke through the door and got to a point that we're right there. We can just change a couple of little things and maybe we'll have opportunity to get back there again. And so it leaves a void there. You're like, okay, can we how are we gonna switch the games up a little bit and do we change the way we play a little bit or how things will manifest.
There's always hope.
Oh,
You're right about that, PJ.
Good luck.
I don't have a problem with the.
God, he's so kind.
I don't have a problem with the Cat trade in general. I'm a little surprised they didn't just get a little bit more in return. Right? Because Julius Randle, if he's healthy, fine, love him.
Yeah.
Great, but doesn't stay healthy very often.
We missed
DiVincenzo
him.
is awesome. Big fan of his. And that draft pick's like 90 years from now.
Yeah, and it'll probably be 2 second-round picks.
So I'm a little surprised we didn't get more. This just feels like a semi-salary dump, which is weird.
Well, and they all, that's
my only problem
part
with
of it. And you're right. Part of it is now they have the flexibility. And if this doesn't work, I think they're going to, Randall is a huge trade piece because he's on a 1-year deal with a player option.
Yep.
But he's a big trade piece. And they are just simply waiting for Durant to get sick and tired of being in Phoenix.
Didn't they try to sign Dante DiVincenzo a couple years ago?
Yep, they lost out to the Knicks. They were in that sweepstakes. They were the last 2 teams reportedly. It was the Knicks and the
That breaks up the whole Villanova clan, right? With the Knicks, right? Because don't they have Bridges, Hart, Brunson, and DiVincenzo?
Yeah.
So they broke up the bit.
The news of the report is that DiVincenzo supposedly wasn't as excited about the Villanova reunion as everyone else was.
Is that right? Well, then welcome to Minnesota. My sources say he's currently getting a donut at Cardigan with John Bonus.
Oh, is
Being
he
a Cardigan.
Yeah.
That
getting
would be
drunk?
so great.
Yeah.
An old-fashioned donut is so good.
We know that.
Oh, thanks, Peach.
Didn't know he was an elite donut man.
Oh, donuts are the best. I love donuts. You can tell.
Period.
Yeah, see, thank you. He put the end of the sentence on
You
there
guys
for
are
me.
finishing each other's sentences.
Oh, buddy.
I knew it would happen eventually.
Yeah.
It was just a matter of
Just
time.
PJ to PJ.
Yeah.
I want so badly for your son's name to be just PJ, not to stand for Paul Jeffrey, just PJ Lambert. That's it.
No, those aren't his initials.
I can't wait for 2044
Why?
when
I'll be long dead.
no, you won't be.
My God, dude.
I sure hope not.
You won't be. Your
20
son's going
years.
to be on KFAN, and the two of you will have a show together.
What will it be called?
Don't know, but it's going to be news that the two of you are going to do a show together.
Yeah, but that's no, I'm not falling for your trap. No, that won't happen.
Why not? How cool would that be to do a radio show with your son?
Paul and Paulie.
He can talk. Kid can talk, I think. We'll see.
No, I don't want to do that.
Why?
Because radio won't be a thing in 40 years.
What?
Now it's 40 years?
You said 40.
I said 2044.
Oh, I just heard the 40 part. I don't listen to full sentences.
God, I hope your
Again.
son does.
I wish you'd do Edward 40 Hands.
Oh, I love playing that game. That game was A+, and then somebody, every time you taped the 240s to their hands, somebody had to take it, go to the bathroom. I almost swore. Somebody had to go to the bathroom, right? The second you tape those 40s,
Yep.
oh, God, Edward 40 Hands wails. You can't play that as an adult. No, you can get looked at weird if we just, if somebody walked into Corey's house and we all had 40s duct taped to our hands.
old
God, that was so fun.
What would your neighbors think?
Oh, we should play Edward 40 Hands. Can we do that
should.
at your house?
Is this a scheduled party, or did you just walk into my house with 40s
No,
taped
like
to your
we went
hands?
over to your house to drink, but think if we went over to your house as 30-year-old.
How many houses you got?
Just whatever. But if we went over to Corey's home and you were like, all right, guys, all I've got is Old English. Tape them up. I'd be like, all right, I'm in. I would play Edward 40 Hands. So fun.
Hold on.
You can't play it as an adult, though.
Of course you can.
need
No, you get weird.
clarification.
You get weird looks. Sorry, go
You
ahead.
said
I've had too much coffee.
as soon as you tape the bottles to their hands, somebody's got to go to the
The
bathroom.
two times I, the
No,
two
wait a minute.
times,
Please.
I know what Chris is going to ask.
Wait a minute. Does watching somebody have bottles of alcohol taped to their arm trigger a urination problem?
no.
And to follow up on Chris's point, you said somebody has to go to the bathroom. If I'm at a party and you're doing Edward 40 Hands and I have to go to the bathroom, in no way does your hands being taped to a bottle of beer affect my ability to go to the bathroom.
Or are you
it's not a
saying
problem.
that it's part of the game that somebody in there has to go to the bathroom?
I tape these beers on. Somebody's got to dump.
All right, I'll do it.
What you meant is the person who
Yes.
just taped their hands
Yes.
inherently ends up always having to go to the bathroom and they can't wipe their
played
hands.
it, I played it a few times, and every time, the second they get taped up with the 40s. Patrick Mahomes
Or Woody Woodpecker.
they instantly have to go to the bathroom.
Right. You also said my neighbors would think it's weird. So I have another question. Did you drive to my house with 40s taped to your hands?
Oh, that's drinking and driving, you weirdo.
Okay, but then did you tape them in my driveway walking up to the house? Why can't you just wait to get in? Why are all these neighbors...
I guarantee you, if we had a party at your house, Tommy would play Edward 40 Hands
My
with me.
favorite thing, and it seems like we've
So
done it
would
for
Max.
3.5 hours today, but my favorite thing is just asking you questions about what you think.
Yeah, no.
Because, God dang it, you're
I just need
fascinating.
clarification.
I'm just saying, we should. Edward 40 Hands isn't PC when you're in your 40s. We would get weird looks. If your wife came downstairs and was like,
allowed to
hey,
do
how's the
whatever we
party going?
want.
And we just had 40s.
Why can't you do
duct
that?
taped to our hands.
Of course you can do that.
And to be clear, we would tape them up in the driveway outside.
Yeah,
We'd let
or on the
everybody-
way to my
yeah.
house.
The family walking
Yeah.
down the street on a nice, Saturday evening are seeing a bunch of adults.
God, it'd be great. We should play Edward 40 Hands.
Let's play it.
Yeah.
That should be a thing the next time we go to Vegas. That's how we make Power Trip Vegas just legendary.
Who's
is
going to pay for all the 40s?
Rosie.
They're like $3 a
Hawk will.
piece.
Will you, Hawk?
Yeah.
They're probably cheaper.
I don't care. Let's do
Yeah.
it.
Oh.
Hey, when we come
Malt
back, what
liquor
an
sucks.
awesome accidental segue. When we come back, this is insane. I have a DUI story, and a guy had an idea that I have never thought of in my life, and it didn't work, and it's terrible advice, but I just cannot believe this guy's strategy. That'll lead off headlines when we get back.
Itching?
This is epic.
Let's go.
This is next level thinking.
Can't wait.
Hey, welcome back to Power Trip Morning Show final segment. After we hear about your drunk driving situation, not that you drunk, right?
Yeah, I have a confession to make.
I would like to talk to you guys about the soccer game that I went to and kind of break it down for you because I found
Sure.
something to be really interesting. Over in jolly old London town.
All right.
Welcome back to the Power Trip Morning Show. Here we are. It is the 8th of October. It's time to get this party started, right, Zacho?
2 days away from our comedy bit.
That's right. That's
2
Thursday,
days.
isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
Cy Amundsen doing a set. Tommy Ryman, who's
Yeah.
just the best, man. Wait till you see that dude live if you haven't seen him. Tommy's such a killer. Mike Brody, who we had on the show just
Mike
a handful of
Brody's-
months ago.
He's great.
man.
He's
couple
really
of,
funny.
A couple of special surprise sets as well. So that's Thursday at the Parkway Theater. Tickets available online. It's the 10,000 Laughs Festival.
Yeah. Get your tickets now, man. Let's have some fun together. We'll be hanging out together and laughing together. And
Yeah, 2 nights away.
Yeah,
Come
it'd be
out.
great.
What time will that be?
I think it's 7. I haven't looked, but I think it's 7 o'clock this Thursday.
Let me take a look, see.
There's so many good shows a part of that festival.
10,000 Laughs Comedy Festival. See the schedule here.
I think we're 7.
Power Trip Comedy, 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
Sauce, will you
Buy
be
your tickets
doing
here.
any material Thursday, or are you just emceeing with Hawk and myself?
I'll probably just MC with you, but I think I'm going to try and come up with a Edward 40 Hands bit. I think I have a
For
concept.
Thursday or for just
Just in
future
general.
stand-up?
Just in general.
Try it on Thursday.
Okay.
Work it into the show.
Yeah, let's help sell some tickets by saying you're going to debut an Edward 40 Hands joke Thursday.
Yes.
And you
I
know
will
what?
do that.
Corey and I will talk off air about which one of us is going to the bathroom.
One of us is going to have to go.
Yeah, we got to.
Have to.
Yeah, right.
And your neighbors are going to be there.
Oh, God, they always watch me walk up to the house
Yeah,
ready
they
to
love
drink.
There's always hope.
Oh, thanks, Peach.
Let's do some headlines, shall we?
Let's do it.
Now it's time for headlines.
Headlines brought to you by my friends at Wolf River Electric. You can go solar if you want to get turned on. Go to wolfriverelectric.com. Thanks, Wolf River.
Yeah, let's go.
Wow.
So I'm standing on the wall of Stirling Castle, which is about an hour outside of Edinburgh.
Wow.
This is like the William Wallace
Oh, that's cool.
era, right?
Yeah.
Just a spectacular view. You can see the entire town, these giant hillish mountains in the background. And I look down on the town of Stirling. About half of these old ass houses, solar panels.
No kidding.
It's weird to be standing
Yeah.
next to history. And then I was like, oh, there's solar panels down there. I'm like, I wonder if Wolf River Electric came all the way over here.
Oh.
That's sweet, man.
By the way, that's the other really weird thing about being around all these castles that we went to in the last week and a half, because we went to Windsor, Stirling, Edinburgh, Tower of London, all these epic spots. You go to like Windsor Castle, and you're like, I just saw where Queen Elizabeth is buried.
Yeah.
And no joke, you can throw a rock and hit McDonald's from the castle.
I had no idea.
It's so crazy to be that. It's like, you're like, she's buried right there, and I can go get a Happy Meal right there.
Kidding.
It's so weird.
Yeah,
it's like the past and the future are right next to each other. Right? They always say, like, if you pan out of the pyramids,
Yeah.
there's a town right there with Starbucks and stuff, right? But they always zoom in so you don't see that there's civilization right next to the pyramids. Man, those castles in England and in Scotland, they are, intertwined with modern chains. It's bizarre. Anyway.
How bizarre.
Well, anyway, I'll show you the picture. Half this town covered in solar panels.
That's
good for them.
Man.
Sophisticated, charming.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Kessler gets it. All right, so before the break, I said, I've just never heard of anybody doing this. This is super crazy to me. There's a 60-year-old guy in Korea that gets stopped.
Tim? I know a guy.
That's 60.
My uncle.
He gets stopped and police suspect him of drunken driving.
That's him.
Oh, my.
Have you ever heard of anybody trying this? Because this would not work in the States. He grabs a bottle of liquor right in front of the cops and just downs it, right? Drinks as much as possible in front of the police. He gets out of it because he says, you can't prove that I was drunk before I just downed that bottle of alcohol.
That worked?
And in Korea, it worked. He got out of it because the police were not able to prove that his blood alcohol content was what it was while he was actually driving.
Wow.
But you don't get an open container?
Well, what if it's an unopened bottle and he just quickly grabs it and just downs it and downs so much of it that it's like, wow, there's no way to prove. Now, I just cannot believe that would ever, ever, ever work in the States. I would highly suggest you don't try that. But how about just going, good luck proving this one, a-holes, and just downing like an entire bottle of Bacardi right in front of a couple of Korean police officers. Good luck. What a strategy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's innovation.
It is.
There's got to be somebody that's tried this in the States.
Oh, I'm sure.
And by States, I mean Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
That's insane.
Yep, and it worked.
Wonder what your dad would have to say about that.
I don't know. Huck, ask him.
He's busy.
Oh, yuck.
Two men in
didn't see what he was doing.
the United Kingdom. This might have been Chris and Andy at that soccer game that we'll get to in a
Those are the guys I
second.
used to move me.
Two men.
Brilliant.
Well
Huck.
done.
Great joke.
Two men in the UK were found with Kinder eggs filled with ketamine inside their rear ends while they were entering an electronic music festival.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to need you to read that again.
Two men in the UK were found with Kinder eggs filled with ketamine inside their rear ends while entering an electronic music festival.
Talk about a K-hole.
And who found them?
I don't know. My guess is the ketamine was super fun and the chocolate tasted like ass.
Well played.
I don't know. That's a good question, though. It's not like that sets off an electronic, that doesn't, it doesn't set off the security.
Were they walking weird?
I don't know.
Man, don't use your prison wallet for that.
Somebody must have seen them take him out to use them?
Oh, yeah, I bet that was it.
I don't know.
Yeah. And that's got to be difficult, right?
Yeah.
I guess you got to go to the bathroom to do it. You can't just fish it out there in the middle of the festival, can you?
You know, like I said, this is an hour and a half ago, call it back. But if you're staring into a black screen on a airplane for an hour and a half and you're just looking at your own reflection and you're contemplating life choices, my guess is if you walk into an EDM festival in England and you have a Kinder egg filled with ketamine shoved up your ass.
Yeah.
And you and your buddy, because your buddy has one there as well, and you and your buddy go into the bathroom at the festival, and you're both watching each other dig it out of your own a-hole.
Sure.
Do you look at each other and just go, Tommy, we got to grow up?
Of course it's.
I know, Eddie, we probably should. Yeah. Do you just say, this has got to be our last festival, sticking Kinder eggs up our asses? Like, this phase has to be over.
But you know what, though? And then you say, the next time, okay, this is the last one. This is it.
We had to see Chaperone with Kinder Eggs filled with ketamine.
But this is it, right? This is it.
And you don't eat the egg, do you?
No. You certainly don't.
Right?
You certainly don't.
No. That's another way that you know that you're out of that phase. Because out of everything I just mentioned, the egg sounds like the best part. Not after it's been up an ass, but just I don't want to go to an EDM festival. I don't want to have ketamine at this point in my life. I just want a Kinder Egg and I want to go to bed.
Yeah, sure.
Those sound amazing. Again, not after it's been up somebody's ass.
No. I mean, no.
Some experts are saying most of today's children now are unlikely to live to 100.
Oh.
That sounds like that should not be news because almost none of us do, unless we're Jimmy Carter. But they're saying longevity maybe has hit a wall. Remember in the last, 10, 20 years, we keep hearing somebody that's alive today is going to be live to be 150. And we're like, okay, if it's not Rob Lowe, I don't know who it's going to be.
Yeah, good point.
But now they're saying longevity may have hit a wall and that the youth of today all getting over 100 is probably very unlikely.
Interesting.
Really?
You would think with advancements in medicine, it's going to be more and more and more and more likely that each generation has a shot at getting over 100. They're saying they're not so sure anymore.
Yeah, there could be at some point, and there probably will be, though, that one development that's like the airplane, which just changes everything, and suddenly everybody's living to be 500. And just
then they're all like Moses or Yoda or Gandalf or something.
Hey, speaking of Moses, Paul Allen, big article today.
Oh my God!
I'm serious.
What
big
a
article
transition
on him today in the Athletic. I just got an email about it, and big article about him. Congratulations, Paulie Wally.
The local version of the Athletic or some kind of national version?
I don't know how you know the difference. I'm sorry.
I think that guy is a British. I think PA was saying something about a British athletic guy following him around or something.
Yeah, he was a soccer player. He's a good-looking dude. Oh, yeah, this is Peter. I've met that guy. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I think he's had him on.
Yeah, good dude. Good dude. Yeah, big article about him today, so that's neat. Oh, you want to play a game real quick?
Of course.
The four of us are going to dinner. We've been working all day. We're tired. It's me, it's Pete, it's Ben, it's Paul Allen. If you guys remember, if you're not real careful, you're going to get run over.
Yes.
You got to look in the right direction.
Yep, stepping off the curb.
One of us almost got run over. Which of us was it? And I mean, it was real close.
Okay, so
they looked in the wrong direction.
Let's talk this out. My logic is this. The most likely to be not paying attention and staring off into the sunset is Paul Allen.
Correct.
Which means that's not the person that it is. This is like reverse psychology. This is process of elimination. I'm going to say that Chris is bringing it up because it's the person that we least suspect. So I'm going to say that Lieber had his head up his ass, was looking for a Kinder Egg. I'm going to say it was Lieber because he's the one I would probably bet the most money that he wouldn't do that, right? Least likely? That's why he's bringing it up. I'm saying it's Lieber.
I'm going to say it was Pete.
I'm going to say PA.
Yeah, I'm going with PA too. I think he was talking.
It was PA. And he looked the wrong direction, and the guy closest to him, who could have saved him, was laughing too hard to do it. Ben almost got PA killed because PA looked the wrong direction and stepped in front of a bus.
Oh, man.
And then caught himself and stepped back, and all I heard was, and PA was like, man, I almost got hit, and you just laughed at me. It's a very, very funny moment. Yeah, PA almost died right in front of all of us.
What an unbelievable story that would have been.
That's exactly what I said.
Oh, that would have been all time.
I'd have been like, man, I could have said, I was there when Paul died.
Yeah. And Ben was laughing.
You would have been doing play-by-play through tears.
Speaking of that, I got to, because Ben was working Westwood 1, I got to do a little bit of his job, from the booth. I wasn't good at it, but I appreciated the opportunity. It was fun. You got to know when what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are. My strengths are not pointing out football stuff to guys who know a lot about football.
How do you do that from the booth?
I just, I kept an eye on the TV screen so I could see what the things they were flashing up there were. I had the lovely Sarah and Sam, texting me stuff from the sidelines in case somebody was injured and stuff like that. Okay. And then I would just tell PA, I'd be like, I got something, and I would drop in. And most of the time I would ask Pete a question, but I just, I don't know. I'm no Ben Lieber, that's for sure. But I appreciated the opportunity, and Paul Allen was responsible for that. So that was cool. That was fun to do. I can always tell everybody I was part of one Vikings broadcast.
That is sweet.
It was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So let's walk through the soccer. I got more headlines, but let's get to the soccer bit first.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I got to tell you, man. Okay, so a South End on the Sea is where he lives. It's not actually called Ballsack by the Sea.
What?
I know. It's weird. Weird. So it's a city, I'm going to say about the size of St. Cloud. If I'm wrong, it's cool. But just picture a city the size of St. Cloud. But it's a city the size of St. Cloud surrounded by a million other cities the size of St. Cloud, even though it's a long ways out in the country. Like it took us forever to get there, but we never were in the country that much.
Via train, or how'd you get there?
He drove and picked me up, and then we took the train back. So imagine you have your own professional team for every city in the Twin Cities. And I mean Eden Prairie and New Hope and Maple Grove and Brooklyn Park and Woodbury. Every city has their own team. And it's not just that every city has their own team. They have their own professional team and their own major stadium in that city. And they all play each other all the time. There are 120 soccer teams, professional soccer teams, in a country the size of Minnesota.
That's too many teams.
And,
that's a lot.
But the cool thing was, and forgive me if I'm pretty sure I'm quoting Andy correctly on that, but I'm pretty close on it. Regardless, when I went to that stadium, there must have been 5,000 or 6,000 people watching that soccer game. That stadium's been there since the 50s. The team's been in existence since like 1902. Andy and his friends all have season tickets that they've had for more than 30 years, and their moms and dads and grandpas and everybody. So everybody from the city gets up on Saturday morning, goes to the pub, drinks for an hour and a half, walks en masse to the stadium, which is in the middle of the city. And when the soccer ball went up on the roof, asbestos rained down on you. Okay. Mm-hmm. It's been there forever. It's not a great, Wrexham is a Mercedes compared to this Pinto, right? But everybody's there. They watch their team get killed because they're terrible. And not a single person left until the game was over. Not a single person left until the game was over. And then en masse, they all went to different bars that surround the stadium and drank for another hour. It is like the coolest gathering of you and your neighbors I've ever seen. And it happens in every city in England. And again, their team was terrible and they know it. And they were screaming mad at their team, but they all stayed the whole game. What a great community event.
That is sweet.
It was super cool. I got nothing I can compare it to. It was really neat.
Roots Hall? That's what it's called. I'm just saying. I like to know the context of what it's called.
Your name is Toby.
Oh. First ballot, by the way.
He better be. Everybody voted for him except for LaBelle.
I've got to have that. I just have to have Roots Hall.
It's that's why sometimes it's fun to watch the stream, is because we know you're Googling, but the listeners, it was just a story, then 3 seconds of dead air, and then you just go, Roots Hall? Like, what, did you have a stroke?
That's the name of the place.
No, we all know that now, but it just came off the top rope out of nowhere. It wasn't just like, the name of the stadium is Roots Hall. It was just Roots Hall? Like it was a speak and spell that was tweaking out.
Oh, well, I'm glad you went, Hogs.
Yeah, man, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. It's like high school football, kind of. I guess that is the closest comparison. Only professional.
The place is an asshole.
That's how I felt when I went to Brazil. It's not even comparable to sports here. It's because it's the only show in town, and the level of passion that they have for it. I mean, it'd be like if all four of the Twin Cities teams went to their respective championships all at the same time, except every single week. Like they have another level of passion and dedication to these teams.
Yeah.
Well, it's
despite the success.
It's a little bit then like true college football towns where that's the only show in town,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
So then the entire town goes to watch their college football team.
Yeah,
because they don't have a pro sports team.
It was fun.
That's
man.
pretty cool.
I would encourage you to do it. That was a really fun experience. That was really something.
I'm going to stay away from Roots Hall.
Roots Hall?
I didn't.
Oh, God, that was good.
Yeah.
10% of Americans are doing Sober October, which I assume is exactly like Dry January. I mean, what is it? Just are we just trying to find things that rhyme and just do it? Sober October. I guess that's a thing.
Yeah, that's cool.
No
Good luck, guys.
drinky November.
Yeah. According to a recent poll, what percent of American adults claim they don't drink at all? So they, by definition, are also participating in Sober October. What percentage of Americans say they don't drink at all?
15.
I'm going like 30, 33.
13.
Ah, man, 20.
Actually, you're pretty close. 38% say they don't drink.
Huh. I think, with the proliferation of weed and weed accessories and CBD and stuff like that, I feel like there's a lot more range on that. Because drinking was just the go-to thing for community before, but now there's a lot more options.
All right, Chris goes last for obvious reasons as soon as I ask this question. We live in Minnesota, right? So we are what? We're called what?
Minnesotans.
Minnesotans. The official name for people living in Indiana is what?
Oh, man, I heard this, too. When I was down there.
Hoosiers.
That is the correct answer. Hoosiers, because try to do it. How do you think you would do it if you did it just like you did it for Minnesota?
Indianians.
Exactly. That sounds ridiculous,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Indianians. Like it's just terrible. It's a really poorly put together word. So I think somebody realized we can't walk around saying we're Indianians.
Yeah. Or Indianaites.
Whoa.
Yeah, that'd be tough.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hoosiers.
man.
I still
had a
don't.
couple
I'm not even
jokes there.
real sure what a Hoosier is. I never knew.
I don't know, but you're one.
I know I am.
You're a Hoosier.
Yeah.
When was the first year Coca-Cola ever used the word Coke to describe one of its own products?
Oh, describe its own products.
New Coke.
Yeah, I bet you're right. About
Probably
84.
82, 84.
82 is correct. Diet Coke was the first time they ever called themselves Coke, at least
kidding.
officially, right? Because
Oh, yeah, I
obviously,
guess that
for
makes
obvious reasons, should we associate with Coke? Especially in the 80s when you got Miami
Right.
Vice and stuff going on. But Diet Coke was the first time the word Coke appeared on
make
any
it
of its
100?
products. God, Diet Coke's elite.
Yeah, Diet Coke out of a can is A+. Do you like it out of the can, Sacco?
With food.
That's where he likes his Kinder Eggs from.
Sick.
Man, this is a mind-blowing stat. What percentage of our laughter is in response to an actual joke or something
Man, that's really
funny
cool.
that somebody said?
50.
60. I don't know. That's weird because I can't imagine.
I don't even know the guess.
Yeah, 60.
50.
I'm going to say 30 again.
Only 10 to 15% is in response to a joke. The rest is just a response to social cues or social situations. So just, nervous laughter, which is weird, right? Because Europeans don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't give you courtesy laughs. It's just, no, you didn't say anything funny, so I'm just going to stare at you. And then there's that awkward silence. Americans just fill in that awkward silence with nervous laughter. So they're saying something like 85 to 90% of when we laugh is just filling in that dead air.
Wow.
That's always in his eyes.
Oh, wow. Gee.
That's how we fill in 3.5 hours every day. None of this
That's great.
stuff is funny.
Yeah.
Well, what's the percentage of if you type LOL, have you ever actually been laughing out loud?
No.
I think that's zero.
I bet it's
And it's never zero.
twice
but-
ever.
Yeah.
Right.
We have a lot of data.
Well, try this one then, PJ. Give me the year with the earliest known reference to the Mile High Club.
Huh.
Talk it out.
Well,
In the 70s?
73.
I'm going to go to the 60s. It might even, I would
Earliest
say.
known reference to the Mile High Club.
Anybody ever get it on in a Zeppelin?
Wow. I don't know.
64.
You'd have to ask John Bonham.
75.
In 1932.
So Chris was the one that was thinking the most outside of the box. You were on the right path, but way off on the year. 1785. Because that was 2 years. Can't believe it took them 2 years. 2 years after the first successful balloon ascent. So as soon as somebody sent a balloon up and was like, hey, we could put somebody in that. 2 years later, they're like, what if we
We should
join the Mile High
fornicate in
Club?
that. Yeah.
I'm sure they thought about that earlier, but they took them forever to come up with the name. All right, 2 birthdays today that I want to get to. How old today is Michael McDermott himself and Jason Bourne? Matt Damon.
60.
Oh, man.
55.
57.
56.
Chris almost got it. He's 54 years old.
Yeah, because I thought he was my age, yeah.
Man, Damon's an awesome actor.
He's the best. Love that guy.
Also, happy birthday today to Nick Cannon.
Definitely.
How old is Nick Cannon?
40.
5. 45.
No, we didn't ask you how many kids he had.
He is 44.
No kidding.
Yep. The ages of his kids, 18, 17, 17, 16, 15, 15, 15, 15, 14, 13, 13, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 11, 11, 11, 10, 9,
Wish.
8, 8, 7, 7, 7, 6, 5, 4, 4, 4, 3, 2, 2, and 1, 1, and 1.
Caller 11 wins a pair of tickets.
Jeez.
My God.
Last weekend, a 16-year-old kid became the first person to ever completely defeat the original Nintendo version of Tetris.
Man,
Oh.
so fun.
I didn't know you
Really?
could.
Yeah, so it kind of crashes the game, I guess. When you finish it, it freezes up and crashes. But then this other kid, let me see if I can,
to the limit.
let me see if I can, let me just read this and see if we can all understand this together. So last weekend, a 16-year-old kid named Michael was using the alias Dog Playing Tetris, and he became the first person to achieve Tetris Rebirth. Here's what that means. When the game goes so far that it actually tweaks out and goes all the way back to an ultra-slow level 0.
Wow.
So you go so far into the game, apparently on level 157 it crashes. But then he went through that, got to level 0, and then his run took 80 minutes total. He completed 255 levels, cleared 3,300 lines on Tetris, and then finally realized while he was live streaming on Twitch that he was the first person to ever get this mythical rebirth, and he did it live on stream.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, proceed. That's kind of you. Tetris
crazy.
Wales.
That's amazing that A, that you can beat it, and B, that nobody had ever done that
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
Man, it's so hard. Once it gets going fast, you make one mistake and it just goes right. You know that like weird little noise
the
right to the
Dwight
top.
noise, yeah.
the Dwight noise, right to the top.
Just splattering.
You know how many hours I wasted on Game Boy playing
Yeah,
Tetris?
Tetris
Most
Whale.
of my childhood.
The Mario Land,
Yeah.
Super Mario Land, that was fun.
Yeah, it's so hard as a parent to tell your kid like get off that iPad. When I was on the Game Boy 9 hours a day.
Game Boy was sweet.
All right, band was back together. We're back tomorrow again, though, 5:30 to 9. I assume Parrish, Carly. Rosie's out the rest of the week. What else are we forgetting tomorrow?
Wednesday.
Just Parrish and Carly, right?
That's it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Don't forget, in 7 minutes, cultivatedcbd.com, 25% off because they sponsored the Charts Challenge. 25% off using KFAN Ghost as your keyword.
All right, back tomorrow, 5:30 to 9. 9 to noon is next.